You walk into a public restroom. You close the door, sit down, and then you see it. That gap. An inch, maybe two, between the door and the frame. At the bottom, sometimes at the top, and those side gaps where the door meets the frame. Wide enough for accidental eye contact, for someone to check if you're in there, for light to slice through in a way that feels unnecessary. You feel exposed, uneasy, vulnerable. Someone walks by, you see their feet, they probably see yours. Maybe you make accidental eye contact through the side gap. Both of you pretend it didn't happen. And in that moment of shared embarrassment, you wonder, why? Is it just cheap construction, a manufacturing mistake, or something else happening here? Something nobody talks about? Turns out, those gaps serve many purposes, and once you understand the logic behind them, including one quiet reason nobody mentions, it may change how you view public restrooms forever. The universal frustration. Let's acknowledge something first. This is primarily an American and Canadian problem. If you've traveled to Japan or Germany, you've probably experienced something magical. Their bathroom stalls have actual doors, floor to ceiling, complete privacy. Some even have sound masking buttons that play white noise or flushing sounds to cover any embarrassing noises. Meanwhile, in America, we have gaps so big you could pass a sandwich through them. The standard American stall gap is about 12 to 18 inches at the bottom. Before the real reasons, let's knock out what people usually guess. Theory 1, it's cheaper. Theory 2, it's so EMTs can crawl under if you pass out. Theory 3, it's for easier mopping. These are all partially true, but they are the polite answers. So what's actually going on? Here are the real reasons you have no privacy. Reason 1. Emergency access and visibility. This is the most important reason that sounds legitimate. Someone in a public restroom has a medical emergency. They faint, collapse, have a seizure, overdose. If the door reached all the way to the floor, it would become almost impossible to help quickly. Emergency responders would need to break down the door, wasting precious minutes. But with a raised door, people can immediately see something is wrong. They can see legs positioned abnormally, see if someone is conscious. And in emergencies, first responders can see and reach someone in distress without breaking down the door. People can crawl underneath to aid or unlock the door from inside. That small gap can literally be the difference between life and death, especially in crowded places like airports, malls, stadiums, or schools. Reason 2. Lock malfunction detection. Stall locks break constantly. They get jammed, they get vandalized. Without gaps, you'd have no way to know if a stall is occupied or just has a broken lock. You'd be knocking on doors constantly, or worse, forcing open doors on occupied stalls. The gap lets you quickly see feet and know the stall is in use, even when the lock fails. Reason 3. Cleaning efficiency. The cleaning argument is the politest explanation of all. In high-traffic bathrooms, spills, leaks, and messes are constant. Having a gap at the bottom allows cleaning staff to sweep, mop, or squeegee through multiple stalls without opening each door. One continuous motion, in and out. But here's the truth. That efficiency isn't just about cleaning around you. It's about speed when the bathroom is empty. In heavy-duty situations, some facilities even pressure wash bathroom floors. A janitor can hose down 6 stalls in the time it would take to open and close each one. That gap allows water to flow freely underneath all stalls without pooling or causing damage. More importantly, the gap makes inspection instant. Problems like clogged toilets or overflows are spotted immediately from outside. They can be fixed before becoming disasters. Reason 4. Air circulation and smoke detection. A restroom used by many people needs ventilation. Otherwise, odors linger, bacteria builds up, the space becomes hot, stuffy, and unhealthy. Gaps at the top and bottom allow fresh air to circulate throughout the space. But there's another reason: smoke. If someone is smoking in a stall, which in the 1970s meant cigarettes, but today also means vaping, those gaps allow smoke to escape and be detected, whether by other users, staff, or smoke detectors. This isn't just about comfort, it's about hygiene and safety. Proper airflow reduces bacterial buildup, dissipates odors, and helps identify rule breakers. Reason 5. Significant cost savings. Here's where we follow the money, and there's a lot of it. A standard bathroom stall door is 32 inches wide. If you want it flush with the frame, you need precision machining, custom hinges, and perfect alignment. Floor-to-ceiling doors require precise measurements. Every bathroom is different. Custom fitting takes skilled labor and time. But if you allow a 1-inch gap, suddenly everything's forgiving. Doors with gaps don't need to fit perfectly. You can mass-produce standard sizes, ship them anywhere, and install them in hours instead of days. For budget-conscious facilities, schools, fast food restaurants, gas stations, airports, that's the difference between a $2,000 bathroom renovation and a $5,000 one. Reason 7. Compensing for construction variations. Here's something most people don't consider. Public bathroom floors are rarely perfectly level. They're designed to slope toward drains. Old buildings shift over time. But it's not just floors. Walls also vary. They're not always perfectly straight or aligned. In older buildings especially, nothing is quite where blueprints say it is. Gaps allow standard-sized doors to work even when floors slope or walls aren't perfectly aligned. No custom adjustments needed. One standard stall fits almost any bathroom. That flexibility saves enormous time and money during installation. This is where it gets uncomfortable. 8th reason. Deterring bad behavior. Complete privacy in public spaces can lead to misuse. Unfortunately, restrooms are sometimes used for activities beyond their purpose. Vandalism, drug use, sexual acts, even illegal transactions. By having doors that don't fully enclose, there's a constant reminder that someone might see or hear what's happening. It's psychological deterrence. The knowledge that someone might notice your feet or hear movement makes people think twice. Here's a specific example. Imagine you're managing a high school. You suspect kids are vaping in the bathroom. With a gap, you can do a toe check. Walk past, glance at the floor, see if multiple feet are in one stall. No confrontation, no evidence needed, just observation. The gap turns a private space into a semi-private space. Not quite surveillance, but not quite privacy either.
Reason 9. Preventing long-term occupancy. In places like bus terminals, train stations, or public parks, fully enclosed stalls create another problem. People may use them for extended periods, to sleep, to shelter, in some cases to temporarily live. This is a real urban planning challenge. Restrooms need to be accessible, but not misused. That visibility through the gap prevents this. People can't turn stalls into temporary bedrooms. The quiet reason. Architectural control. This is where all these practical reasons merge into something bigger, something most people have never heard of. In 1972, an architect named Oscar Newman published a book called Defensible Space. He argued that crime could be prevented not by more police, but by designing environments that eliminated opportunities for anonymity. Bathrooms were one of his case studies. He recommended gaps, lowered ceilings, brighter lighting, and mirrors positioned to eliminate blind spots. His ideas were adopted by school boards, airport authorities, and mall developers across America, not because they were cheapest, though they were, but because they created what he called natural surveillance. The gap lets you be seen without being actively watched. You don't need a camera in every stall if the stall is designed to make you feel observable. The gap is 75 years of design philosophy saying, we'll give you privacy, but not enough to hide. The hidden efficiency. There's another practical layer worth mentioning: turnover. When you're in line at a concert hall, you can see which stalls are occupied without knocking. Just glance at the floor and move on. That gap saves seconds per person, which adds up to minutes off wait times during peak rush. And here's a surprisingly human detail. Ever run out of toilet paper and ask the person next to you for help? That gap makes it possible to pass toilet paper or other necessities to someone in an adjacent stall. Without it, you'd be stuck. Bonus practical reasons. A few more quick reasons worth mentioning. Lighting. It allows one main light to illuminate all stalls, saving energy. Fire safety. Some fire codes require visibility into enclosed spaces. Gaps help comply with safety regulations without expensive modifications. ADA accessibility. Wheelchair users sometimes need extra room to maneuver. Gaps help standardize stall dimensions while meeting accessibility requirements. But this design solution created new problems. The gap meant to deter bad behavior now enables it. Privacy invasion. Cameras can be slid under, phones can be held up. The very design meant to protect you becomes a vulnerability. Gender disparity. Women's restrooms often have larger gaps because partitions are standardized regardless of stall size. The design doesn't account for different safety perceptions or needs. Cultural whiplash. American travelers who visit Japan or Germany report feeling more exposed when they return home. The gap isn't universal. It's a cultural assumption about how much privacy we deserve in public. The cultural divide. So the question is, if gaps are so practical, why doesn't the rest of the world use them? Different priorities, different values. The modern twist. Today, there's a quiet rebellion happening. High-end restaurants, boutique hotels, and tech company headquarters are installing floor-to-ceiling stalls. They're marketing it as luxury privacy, a premium feature, which means we've somehow accepted that basic privacy is a luxury. Interestingly, you'll notice gaps shrink dramatically in expensive hotels. When you're paying premium prices, suddenly privacy becomes affordable. So, why do toilet stall doors have gaps? It's not one reason, it's a stack of reasons. If you enjoyed finally understanding this random frustration, this channel is full of answers like this. Everyday things you never questioned, the quiet reasons behind how our world works. Subscribe if you want more. And if you have suggestions for our next video, drop them in the comments. You might just see your idea featured. I'll see you in the next one.